Hi and welcome to E-ZTutoring. Today we are going to cover solving rational equations. Now, when you have rational equations, there are generally a couple of different methods you can use to actually solve these. Now, I won't cover all the methods. I will go over probably the easiest one. So, when you have something like this, you can actually combine the fractions by using common denominators, and then from there you would just set it equal to 0 and solve. Or another way is you could actually move this over here, and then you have one rational expression equal to another rational expression, and from there you can just cross multiply. So I'll just go ahead and do both methods actually. First I'll go ahead and move this over here. So we are adding 2 over x, so to get rid of it we subtract 2 over x, that cancels. And then we get 1 over x minus 1 equals negative 2 over x. And if you guys remember how to cross multiply, simply multiply these two together and multiply these two together. And then we get 1 times x equals negative 2 times x minus 1. Be very conscious of the fact that you must multiply the negative 2 to all the terms here using distributive property. This is where a lot of students tend to make mistakes. So when we distribute the negative 2, we get negative 2x plus 2 by bringing over that negative, and two negatives make a positive. All right, and then almost the last thing, we need to add 2x, 3x equals 2, and then you just divide each side by 3, but I'm running out of room here, so we will get x equals 2 over 3, which is your answer. So now I'm going to show you guys the other method. The other method is, like I said, to get common denominators. What is the common denominator between x minus 1 and x? Kind of hard to find that common denominator. Easiest way to do it is just to multiply them together. So our common denominator will be x times x minus 1. Now, this works for any case where you can't find your common denominator. You simply multiply the two denominators together, and that'll give you your common denominator. All right, so how can we get 1 over x minus 1 to have this denominator? Well, all we need to do is multiply the denominator by an x. And now, boom, we have this common denominator that we were looking for. But if we multiply the bottom by x, then we also need to multiply the top by x, because x over x is 1. All right, and then plus 2 over x. And we need to get this denominator to be the common denominator. So we must multiply the denominator by x minus 1. And of course, we do the same thing to the top. So now we can simplify all of this. X times 1 is simply x over the common denominator that we found, plus 2 times x minus 1. We must use distributive property here, like so, over the common denominator equals 0. So now that we have the same denominator in both fractions, we can actually go ahead and combine these two fractions by adding them. So when you add two fractions, simply add the numerators together. Now, of course, we can go ahead and simplify this really quick here. 2 times x minus 1, we distribute the 2 into each one, and that'll give us 2x minus 2. So if we add x and 2x, combining like terms, that gives us 3x minus 2 over the denominator equals 0. So now we have a fraction is equal to 0. You want to think about this. When is a fraction equal to 0? When the numerator is 0 or when the denominator is 0? In math, having a denominator of 0 is forbidden. You do not want a denominator of 0 in math. So if you have a numerator of 0, that will make your fraction 0. So what you want to do is you want to take 3x minus 2 and set that equal to 0. If you have a hard time understanding what I just said, you can actually do this mathematically by just getting rid of the denominator by multiplying x times x minus 1 on both sides, and you will get 3x minus 2 equals 0. Either way, you want to get to this in one of the ways I mentioned. So from here, we simply add 2 on both sides, get that 3x equals 2, and then get that x equals 2 over 3. So this will be your answer, and you can see that both methods gave us the same exact answer. So it doesn't matter with which method you use, it just matters that you use the one you feel more comfortable with. So that is how you solve rational equations, and I hope you guys feel more comfortable with the subject now. If you guys ever need ACT or SAT help, be sure to visit my website, www.E-ZTutoring.com. Thank you guys, and have a good day.